Hi guys, thank you for joining my broadcast today. My name is Becky LaFave and I'm coming to you from Gilbert, Arizona. So thanks for joining. Now if you jump on, please, hey, say hi. We are going to be talking about some stuff today. So do you see dead people out there? So we're going to talk about this topic today. So over this past weekend, I was in Las Vegas. And I got to hear from amazing speakers that are living this way with a different mindset. And one of the doctors there is Dr. Skip Campbell. He brought this up, and I thought this is the truth, and I thought I'd share with you and engage where if you see it, and maybe are you living it and want change in your life. So let's get started. So even if you're hearing the replay of this, please participate in this and let me know how you feel about it as well. So do you see dead people? I see dead people all day long. They're acting like zombies. Do you know what I'm saying? Drop a 1 if you get what I'm saying. There is so many dead people out there acting like zombies inside themselves. And you can clearly see it. They're miserable. And, you know, unfortunately, they allow the past to define them and they're not, maybe don't know how to change their life. Let's give them that. They don't know, hey, good morning, Amanda. They don't know how to change their life, you know. Maybe they've never had the skills. Maybe they grew up in a household that was all dead people too. So, you know, you have to go out and really search for it. You have to go out and find it. And I think that's what's great about new technology, things like this. If you're scrolling through Facebook and you can actually educate yourself on something or share it with a friend so they can educate themselves on it, there is no reason in the world that we live today that we have a lack of anything in our life. It really becomes a choice then. Would you agree? Drop a 2 if you would agree with that one. So today, let's talk about who are you spending your time with? Number 1, who do you spend your time with? Are you spending time with energy suckers? Because if you notice when you're around negative people, that they suck your energy, right? And the difference when you hang around positive people, it's like sometimes it can be overwhelming how high they are in their energy, where it can kind of suck your energy a little bit, but more in a positive direction. Wouldn't you agree with that? Drop a 3 if you agree with that. You'd been around people that actually have such great energy that they can actually kind of suck away your energy a little bit because they're so high on their energy. I definitely have a couple people in my life like that, which is great because you know what? It feeds me. It feeds me because God knows we all have bad days. So if you want to change having bad days, I'm going to give you some 3 examples on what you can do to change that. So let's talk about this. If you're hanging out with negative people, you start to become like them. Remember, we talked about this before. If the 5 people that you hang out with, that's who you're influenced by, right? That's who you are engaging with all the time. If you're not putting in good, we talk about this as a computer. What you put into that is output, okay? So your brain's the same way. Whatever you put into your brain, you're outputting that into the world. That's who you are. That's who you become and who you are, frankly. So I took some notes, so I'm kind of reading because, you know, I'll be like squirrel and I'll be off in a different direction. So this helps me keep on track. So when people have scarcity and lack, you start to become more like them. So we just talked about a little bit about that. So scarcity, never having enough, I'm so scared, I'm freaked out, you know, all those are scarcity mindsets. And you might not believe in that mindset, but when you hang out with people like that, you kind of get in that mode and you can't see beyond that. You can't see a vision bigger for yourself because the people you hang out with don't have that big vision like yourself. So then you kind of you kind of make yourself a little bit smaller. And instead of living larger, you make yourself smaller. And there's no way that there's no reason for you to be that. You cannot allow people to make you smaller. You got to rise above that and change that. So you got to be playing big, and you got to hang out with people that are playing bigger. So you become that type of person, right? So 95% of people are acting like zombies. I want you to pay attention now. Now that I've said this, you'll be like watching this like a hawk, because I know I was. And then 2% actually change their mindset and do something about it. So are you a 95%er? Are you a 2%er? Drop below, drop me a 3 below if you are, or no, sorry, we already did a 3. Drop a 4 below if you are 95%, or are you a 2%er, or look, you are that and you want to change it. You know, like, let's just be true to ourselves, because that's who we are. We want to be able to change ourselves if that's what you want in your life. So 3 things I'm going to help you so you can change your reality, okay? So 3 things, so write these down. Number 1, raise your standards, right? Raise your standards. Start treating yourself with more respect, and guess what? Others will start treating you the same way. So, you know, if you accept less, you will be given less. So respect yourself enough, right? To make change in your life, you have to respect your own self. Number 2, you have to ask for what you want. If you believe in that statement, drop a 5 below. You have to ask for what you want. Stop being afraid to ask for what you want. And be very clear on it, because believe me, if you don't be clear on it, you will be given what you don't want, right? Because you will accept it. So drop that below if you understand what I'm saying. Give me some likes, you guys, if you are getting it. Thank you, Amanda. Yes, absolutely. And number 3, you need to come up with a new story. Do you understand that? You need to come up with a new story. So many people, right? So many people are living in the past, and they're letting that define them. So you got to come up with a new story. Now, we all have a story in our life. You know, some of us worse than others. I'm going to give it to you. Some of us are worse than others. You were beaten. You were sexually abused. You've had the worst of the worst. But guess what? You have the power. You own your own life. You can change that for yourself if you choose to come up with a new story. So quit letting the past define you and come up with a new story. And if you say, Bex, how do I do this? What do I do to change my life? Well, number 1, those 3 things. Do those 3 things, okay? Raise your standards. Start hanging out with different people. If the people you're hanging out with don't, make you feel good inside, let's just start there. You don't feel good when you're around them. You feel down, and you don't feel good about your own self. They don't even feel good about their self. You know what? Start looking for some new friends. Start there. You know, start respecting yourself. And that's number 2, is respecting yourself to find new friends, okay? Find new friends that are going to bring you up in your life, not bring you down. And, you know, you don't need to allow negative people in your life. You know, we used to think that no matter what, family, friend, whoever, your children, no, you don't have to allow that, okay? You can change that. It's not, they always say you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. Believe me, this is true. If you choose to have that in your life, there's choices. So how do you start? Personal development. You have got to change the wiring in your brain that you have already pre-wired yourself. Since you were a little person, you have been pre-wired up to this point. And guess what? You can change that wiring if you choose to. So if you choose to, start with self-development. It's very simple. It doesn't cost you anything. You already have internet because you're on Facebook, so I know you can. You go to YouTube, okay? You look up Jim Rohn. You look up Bob Proctor. You look up Tony Robbins. You look up John Maxwell. And start there. Start there. If you can afford a CD, if you can afford an audio book and listening to it in your car or listening to it when you're working out, start changing that vibration, that wiring in your brain, and you can stop acting like a zombie, and you can start acting like the 2%ers out there in the world, making change, giving back to the world. You know, start there even. Start doing for others, and guess what? You will become a different person just by doing that. So those are a couple things to get strategizing in your own brain, rewire it. You know, stop acting like a zombie, you guys, and start living your life. I guarantee you, you start self-development, you don't have no choice but to change your life, because it will. Once again, you guys, if you love what I'm sharing, please hit the share button. If you feel like somebody personally in your life could hear this, maybe drop their name in that comment box and they'll get this right away. Or if you don't have the nerve to help somebody out that way, just placing it on your wall and personally says, hey, I believe in this too, and maybe they do as well. So once again, you guys, if you like it, give me some love, thumbs up. And once again, I always love sharing. Thank you for joining me. God bless and have a beautiful day. I'll see you tomorrow.